Oh my
Hello and welcome to Geeks of the Round. This is the Conclave. We're going to discuss Gotham, the season premiere that happened like 6 days ago. But you know, the Conclaves always happen on Sunday, so we had to wait. I am your host, Matt Moore, and we actually have a pretty full panel today. So I'm going to go from the left, and we're going to go in alphabetical order, which means we're starting with Andy. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing tonight?
Your voice was so low that the camera was actually focused on Charles instead of you. Try that again, please.
Hi guys, how you guys doing tonight? I hope you're doing well.
All right, only half of that was focused on Charles. Andy's over there, folks, I swear, I promise. Next to him, we have Charles Whedon. He is, of course, Charles the Blunt Whedon. Tell us how you're doing, Charles.
I'm doing good. I don't really know where the hell that came from, but yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah.
And next to him, we have Todd, always sober. How you doing, Todd, always sober?
I'm absolutely sober. These guys.
Getting creepy.
And next to him, I'm just making shit up. We have Isaiah. I probably took your wallet, Mullins. How you doing, Isaiah?
Well, folks, no fact I always take people's wallets for nature. I'm doing great. Besides the marks I see from Charles' wallet. He has nothing. He's mostly broke all the time. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we have Knuckles, Trolley McTrollerson Goldberg. How you doing, Knuckles?
Oh, fine. Just on my new iPhone here, you know.
Oh, hope you don't break it.
Be careful not to bend that.
It'd be like a boomerang.
Oh, don't worry. Benghazi is a lie. Don't believe it.
Benghazi? Is that your new word now?
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere.
And I just ended up, to counter him because he got the iPhone 6, I ended up getting the Samsung Galaxy S5. And
Which is what I have. See? I have it too.
Okay, Mr. Rockefeller.
you have a Samsung Galaxy 2? Congratulations, Charles.
No, this is an otter case protecting it. It's the S5.
Oh. So
Check
you
out
don't
my
break
phone. This is my phone, and here's my otter case.
it.
Wait, I don't think Matt was done with what he was saying.
Yeah, I was going to say that for me, I was actually a little surprised at how unimpressed I actually was with it. It's a good phone. It's an awesome phone. But my Nexus 4 is almost very close to as good as this Samsung Galaxy S5. However, if we're going to continue on with that thought, all of the above are better than his iPhone.
Yeah,
So-
pretty much.
Not true.
Matt, I have a question for you, Matt.
The actual discussion, we of course are discussing Gotham season premiere today. Let's see, first impressions. Andy, what were your first impressions on it? Like it, dislike it, any major gripes? We won't get into the minutia until later.
I loved it for many, many reasons. I loved it because, you know, I was surprised because I'm going to put emphasis on this, that I was not surprised about the show when it was announced. And I know Isaiah probably knows it better than I do because we talked about it in depth. So when I saw the show, I was like, you know what? I can get behind this. It is kind of fun. This is kind of cool and so on. Favorite moments? Yeah, give me a few minutes to think about it, and you can get back to me because I have to think about it first.
Yeah, that'll be no problem. Believe me, we'll have plenty of time to tell our views in a little bit. Charles, how about you?
I don't know. I mean, the pilot pretty much affected me the same way the trailer did. I know most of you were all excited when the trailer first came out, but for me, nothing about the trailer interested me. Now, I watched the pilot just because I wanted to give it a chance, and I've had low expectations for shows that have wowed me before. A good example would be From Dusk Till Dawn, the series. But the thing is that it's just with the pilot, it didn't really do it for me. Some of the characters I did like. Fish Mooney, however, I thought was annoying. But I don't like Jada Pinkett Smith anyway, so... And Donald Logue was probably the only good thing of the entire episode, aside from Oswald Cobblepot. And that's about it. But even though the pilot didn't really do it for me, with shows like this who haven't really caught my interest yet, I usually give it about 5 episodes before I give up. So I got another 4 episodes to get interested.
Okay, all right. Now, Todd, we're going to skip you real quick because just to your right is Isaiah, and I want you to respond to what both of them say. Isaiah, how about yourself?
Okay. Besides the fact that it bored me a little bit, because it did, because it's a prequel, but that's a long story I'll have to get into later. I did like Fish Mooney. Of all the things in the world, I liked her a lot because she was original, unlike the other characters and everything else behind it. Her character, I liked a lot. Unlike Charles, I like her more. And just Gallant.
Shut up, Isaiah.
That's all you're going to talk about is Fish Mooney?
Hey, she was only... Also, I forgot one last thing. The acting is very good. I agree with that part, too. It's very, very good. Okay,
all right. That's actually a positive review from Isaiah Mullins. Congratulations. Yay!
And the world.
Woo! All right, Todd, go for it. If you wanna tear into them, go for it.
Well, I can't really tear into them because they didn't really say much here that was horrible. But they've been saying it in the chats, and I don't want to rip into them yet. Let them dig their own graves because they're going to. Trust me, they will. I just want to say first impression. My first impression is what is striking me about the show is the promise it has. And that is one point which pisses me off about these two fellas, their hatred of the show. Look at the promise a show like this delivers, and or could deliver. And if you're not going to accept it, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want for comic book movies. I don't know what you want for comic book shows, and I don't know what you guys are expecting. Because this is the kind of logic that is going to make Hollywood not want to keep doing this.
Okay, fair enough. And how about... Oh, wait, sorry. Continue.
That's it. The pacing sucked.
All right. How about you, Knuckles? What do you have to say?
I kind of agree with Todd. I think that I think that with a show like this that's set in a pre-existing universe, that's a prequel to that universe, there's going to be some slow pacing setup to kind of build up to stuff. Though I'm excited for a lot of that stuff to start coming into the show.
Cool.
And see what they do with it.
Cool. For me, I had watched the preview. I had watched all of the previews. And pretty much everything in the previews, possibly because they were only part of a small snippet of the story, really kind of sucked to me. Is you see the penguin like laughing as like under an umbrella, and that just seemed like a stupid fucking scene to me. And you see like Fish Mooney basically, and pretty much everything she said like as a small part of a story was pretty fucking stupid. I think the previews kind of portrayed it poorly in my eyes. The show itself, though, did turn out to be much better than I expected. I'm not saying that it is what I want from a prequel to Batman, because everything I watch that has to do with Batman, I will always compare to the animated series. There's no question about it. It's just always going to be compared to the animated series, and nothing is going to stand up to that. So I am not going to ever give this a 10 out of 10, no matter what they do. That being said, it was much better than I expected. Perfect. All right, so let's see. We start out with the scene of course, Bruce Wayne. Well, we start out with Selina Kyle, actually.
Yeah.
Running around the city, stealing some milk, stealing a wallet, and then disappearing very promptly up a fire escape. Then we segue into the actual Wayne murders, in which, of course, the Waynes are murdered, and Selina Kyle is there to see the whole thing. Was there anyone who wanted to speak on that specifically? Because I know I do. Go for it, Todd.
Did anybody? Okay, it happened really fast, and we got no lead up, no build up. But did we need that? Did we need to feel for Thomas and what's her name? Martha Wayne. Do we need to feel for them? Do we need to know anything about them, or do we already know and a kid losing his parents is sad enough.
It's sad enough.
Yeah, though, quick thing, isn't Martha also Superman's mom's name? Am I...
Yes, it is. Martha.
I'm sure back
Oh,
they were doing a lot of, they were ripping each other off on purpose.
they was.
Well, yeah, I mean, during that period of time, you also had the alliteration names. You had Lex Luthor, you had Lois Lane, you had Clark Kent. Basically, all the names, both in the DC universe and a little bit, in the Superman universe especially, but a little bit in the Batman universe, though I'm having a hard time remembering one. Basically, they were made to kind of have a beat to them. So, I don't know.
But
I can't think of one for the Batmans either, actually.
I know.
I've actually drank entirely too much, or else I guarantee you I'd be able to think of one.
Aw.
No, Isaiah didn't talk because he's black. All right, Isaiah, go for it.
What?
Isaiah did ask first, Charles. You'll be next, I promise.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ladies first.
I know. I'm a
In that case, Andy, go for it.
Yes.
Okay. I like Catwoman. I was hoping she would talk a little bit more. Because she was, look, the only thing that I was rolling my eyes over about her in the episode was like, really, you had to get milk in the first scene just to emphasize that you're a Catwoman? And also, can I just point out, the bottle was empty, and she stole it from someone who just shopped it. I was like, continuity error much, bitch?
That was terrible. Like, she's an awful thief.
No, I just think that's maybe either she drank it, on her way to, that beautiful kitty, or she just, or something just went terribly wrong in that store.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Interesting.
All right, go for it, Isaiah. I didn't actually expect him to jump in front of you, but we'll take it. Go for
I'm
it.
used to it.
Well, you said ladies first, so.
Anyways, I'll be honest. I did like the setting behind Selena, because we know she's Catwoman. That was so obvious for me. Like, yeah, it's Catwoman. But the Gotham, in all honesty, I think this is the best showman of Gotham itself. Like, it's very dingy.
Yeah.
It's dirty as hell. You need a lot of hand sanitizer. It's like Bangkok, but worse.
I was glad they finally went with New York. That someone decided.
Bangkok's pretty bad.
Let's just.
Bangkok's almost as bad as Detroit.
And also, the death of the Wayne family, well, the parents and the parents. I thought that was a little cheesy due to the CGI blood. Like, really, you guys couldn't just like.
That was real blood.
No,
that was practical. That was practical. It was practical effects. Isaiah.
No, they really killed those.
Real human
They were sent for execution.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
In the casting description, it said one actor, one actress needed to be officially dead in the show.
But I mean, it was not bad really. It was actually an interesting move that they did, like connect Catwoman with Batman even more closely. So that's really cool, and it might be interesting to see down the road within other series if they do make a Batman show, a real Batman show, a live action one. That'd be really cool. But
that won't happen.
Shh! Don't ruin my dream. Anyways, to end this all off, be quiet. Anyways, to end this all off, the scream of Bruce Wayne was. I laughed. I'd be honest. I really did laugh. Like.
May you never have kids, Isaiah.
At this point in the hangout, may I remind all the panelists, because I almost did it myself, all the panelists, please do not mute the other panelists. That gets annoying. I almost did that to Isaiah just now because he just made fun of Bruce Wayne's parents' death. But let's not do that, okay?
Okay, fine. It was kind of funny.
Hey, I'm hands off the mouse.
I mean, sorry, it was kind of funny.
Hands where we can see them.
It was their facial expression, really. It was their facial expression was kind of funny. I'm sorry. It was like,
Yeah.
funny.
Except you didn't see his face in that scene. It was like they zoomed back from that shit.
Yeah, but it was so funny.
All right. Charles, did you have something that you want to throw in?
Yes, two things. One thing about Catwoman, the other thing about Batman's parents. Yeah, there's an echo, but I was just gonna say that with Catwoman, I actually liked that scene. I liked it. I thought that it was good for character development. I mean, yes, the part where she steals the milk, goes into the alley, gives the milk to the cat. That's like saying like, "Hey, look at me, I'm Catwoman," kind of thing, and that might have been a little bit annoying. but it didn't really bother me that much. And the fact that she didn't basically say a word at all in the entire episode, I thought was nice. I thought it was pretty good. Because sometimes...
Then you do have something.
Sometimes when the character doesn't have anything to say, that's actually much stronger than actually having lines. The body language is stronger than the actual words themselves. So, and I thought that was very nice. Now, on the subject of Bruce Wayne's parents being killed, unlike what Isaiah said about it being CGI, I know practical effects, and that was clearly practical effects. And that was all. There was maybe little packets of fake blood underneath their clothes that were burst whenever somebody triggers it, like they would normally do when they use practical effects. But as soon as as soon as Martha and Thomas Wayne were killed, first thing that popped up in my head, Joe Chill.
That would make sense, but I don't think that's the case here.
Not in this version. I think the version they're going with here is they're gonna go with the case where someone set this whole thing up. They wanted to see parents get murdered.
Like the court.
That's another thing that I'm gonna have to. You're gonna label it as nitpicking. I think of it as justified, like raging. Is that it's the same thing with what they did to Ivy Pepper.
Oh dear God,
Lord.
no!
Oh my God.
Changing the story like that much majorly.
No, he hates the name.
I can see why he'd be upset about that.
I get it too, but
I mean, I'm not upset by it,
Her
but I
name-
see why he would be. Absolutely.
Her name is Pamela Isley. Well, she's going to become Dr. Pamela Isley. Now,
Okay, first off, Charles,
Pepper.
you don't know that her name is going to be Ivy Pepper for the rest of her life. She can very easily change her name.
Yeah, it's an origin
I don't-
story, Charles. It can
She's
always
a
change.
kid. If she's going to change her name at all, she needs to be at least 18 years old, which probably won't happen for X amount of years.
I'm sorry, that changes my theory. How? So she waits till she's 18 to change her name. Who cares? She can still be Pamela Isley before she becomes now I'm bringing it
I guess the reason why I'm being affected by this so much is because Poison Ivy is one of my favorite Batman villains.
Because she's hot, and a lot of times she's topless.
and she's a redhead.
But you guys realize there are two continuities going on in the comic books right now. There are two running continuities selling titles, Detective Comics and Batman.
And Batman Beyond.
It's just the way it is. There's going to be differences between each one.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is more of like that. I think it is nitpicking, and it's missing the promise. If Poison Ivy is your favorite character, what Matt said makes a whole lot of sense. So she grows up, she becomes 18, she has a
She's one of my favorite. My ultimate favorite Batman villain would have to be Scarecrow.
Seriously?
Oh dear God, we're going to your own day.
Yeah, I love Scarecrow.
Until
Okay, we're gonna move on now. We're just gonna move on.
I might agree with Charles on that.
We're just gonna move on now.
5 years ago, until they redefined him, he was one of the joke characters.
He was terrible character before they redefined him.
He
Scarecrow.
was like
Scarecrow's my favorite. Joker is my number 2.
Wow.
Joker is my number 2. Scarecrow is my number 1.
all right. So my
Mr.
thought,
Freeze is my number 3.
my thought on these particular scenes is first off, I think that Selena Kyle is actually going to kind of be a secondary character, not like, for example, Penguin is. I'm talking like a secondary character like Bullock is. In other words, she's going to be a major character. She's just not going to be one of the two main
Like
stars.
a mentor?
What's that?
Like a mentor, like how Bullock is to James. Like a mentor type mentality?
I think that she's going to end up... Well, I don't know if she's going to be a mentor to Bruce. That's actually a good freaking wild theory right there. That's actually pretty good. If that ends up happening, I'd be very impressed, and I'd be on board with that. However, I was thinking that more that you might hear the story of Gotham, like what really happens in Gotham, from her side than you will from, say, the Fish Mooney side. Because from her side, in many of the comics, she ended up becoming a hooker who also stole. And basically the really dark, seedy side of Gotham, that was her story. And I'm hoping that we end up seeing Matt a little bit from her point of view. And so I'm hoping she becomes more of a major character than we've seen thus far. Now, rumor has it that that's what this next episode is we're going to hear her talk, and we're going to hear her see things, or we're going to see things from her side. But we'll see.
Can I say something, Matt?
Go for it.
First of all, you're right. Next week's episode is called Selena Kyle, so if she doesn't talk in her own episode, that is pretty much fucked up. But I can tell you that she is I can tell you this, the actress who plays her, Carmen Bicanova, she is a series regular on the show, so you will be seeing plenty of her.
I hope she has. I hope she has as much screen time as Bruce Wayne was originally supposed to have.
You're right.
That being said, Bruce Wayne is supposed to have considerably more screen time than he was originally written for.
Yeah, and that's from a TC. Yeah, that's true. From a TCA that they talked about, they said that they added in Bruce Wayne later. And as far as I saw a casting call for Bruce Wayne that said he was going to be in all episodes. So.
Not gonna like that.
But he was supposed to be kind of like almost a background character, and now apparently he's supposed to be like right there with Gordon when it comes to main characters.
Yeah, but I love that fact because of their scene.
I don't know, man. That's another gripe I have with this show. It's like it takes place in Gotham. I really don't care about what's going on with the Gotham Police Department. I want Batman.
Yeah, and we
Stop watching
the show
right now.
See,
Honestly.
that's what. Okay.
Honestly,
I am willing to give.
Okay. Hold on.
I acknowledge the fact that it is a origin story, but just the fact that Bruce Wayne is 10 in this show, it's still going to be on some level bother me in the end.
Why? That's the
next comic. I have to finish this because I was trying to interrupt him before, but I let him go. The GCPD comic, basically the comic about the police force.
Gotham Central.
It's strong. I think it's called Gotham Central now. I think they rebooted it, but when I read it, it was like 6 years back. That comic ran strong for many, many years. There is a lot of things going on in Gotham that have little to nothing to do with Batman. And they're very compelling stories, and I'm hoping to see that kind of quality in this show.
Well, I never
read
read those comics, but maybe I should. Maybe I should. Yeah.
Also, really quickly,
Give them a fair shake.
I hope we meet Bruce Wayne's longtime best friend. I can't tell who it is until the end.
Thomas Elliott? Fuck him.
What?
Harvey Dent.
It's a good guy. I'd love to see him and Bruce Wayne have some good interaction because he makes a big change about everything else. He's one of my favorite characters too, but still.
Yeah, in 30 years from now.
But it will make more perfectly sense if you add him in. He teaches Bruce Wayne.
Okay, I'm going into speculation there, but maybe if they bring in Thomas Elliott to Gotham, maybe at first Bruce Wayne and Thomas Elliott may hate each other, and they might become friends further down the road.
Who is Thomas Elliott?
We'll tell you later.
Yeah.
We'll tell you later.
Hush you. Okay. Thank you, Isaiah, for getting that. Todd, go for it. You were going to say something.
Charles, this is exactly why when I finished watching this episode, before I watched it, all I'm reading is Charles and Isaiah talking about how horrible it is. I finished watching it, and I was literally raging. Like, my blood was boiling. I couldn't believe it. I was so angry at these two fucking assholes for their comments on the show.
I don't believe you. Oh, by the way, everyone who's watching this, read Todd's lower third. Okay, continue.
I can't see. I only see Charles and Isaiah are...
horrible humans.
Well, that's nothing new.
They are.
Now, Todd, can I add something, Todd?
Wait, hold on. Let me get this out. You're saying,
Okay.
Charles, that your problems with the show, you want Batman. Well, number one, fuck you. This is not Batman. This is Gotham. Can you not tell what the title of the show is? It's about Gotham Police Department. Batman is 10 years old. You're right. And guess what? How does that suck? That's beautiful. If this show lasts 10 years, then we get Batman. Do you know the payoff of waiting 10 years to see him become Batman and fuck his in the ass?
Like Smallville.
I was just about to say that you took it out of my mouth, you bastard.
What a remorse!
So if this is going to be like Smallville, Bruce Wayne is going to jump into the lake and like rescue that guy that Gordon pretended to shoot, and then they're gonna grow up and be best of friends, right? For like 10 years.
They were only good friends for like 4 seasons,
Yeah.
maybe 5.
Fair enough.
Really 5 seasons, but depends on how you look at it when it comes to Smallville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's technically
Well,
5
best
seasons,
of
but
friends before eventually turning on each other.
And then Penguin, he will shave his head, and he'd be like, "No, wait, I'm not supposed to be bald."
Okay, so I just want to point out, and this is going to come up later, my wild speculation is actually from these beginning 2 scenes. Are we ready to move on, though?
Yes.
I just wanted to add one thing to Todd's, his reaction to how Isaiah and Charles are feeling, and I don't want to be interrupted here. I just want to finish what I'm saying here.
But people are going to interrupt you, like me, just now.
yes.
Bastard.
Especially if you're not a fucking asshole.
Let's say it, Andy, please.
Go on.
Because I can kind of understand, it's not a surprise why they came out so negative about the show, because, they went in negative. If you go into negative, if you go into a show or a movie negative, that's going to cloud your judgment a little bit, and then, you're going to come out and be like, oh, I still hated it, and so on. I'm done.
Absolutely.
They hated it from months and months before it ever came out. These two guys were like, "This show is horrible."
I never said that. I just said the trailer.
What was the point? What was the point?
I didn't say it was horrible, but I wasn't looking forward to this show either. And I was pleasantly surprised.
I would say, what's the point behind it all? When you're saying like,
My biggest
sorry, so go ahead.
my biggest problem with the show was the fact that they announced the show 2 minutes after S.H.I.E.L.D. had premiered. I was like, fuck you, DC, you're just trying to get some attention from S.H.I.E.L.D. So I was like sitting like this all day night being like, why? I love you, DC, but why? Out of all nights do you have to ruin this for me?
All right.
I was crying.
Wow.
You were crying.
Yeah.
Can I come over to your house
You know what?
slap you over the face?
Yeah, you know what? Hold on. I think I got a tissue here somewhere.
You're like 3 hours by plane from me. I will go to the East Coast and just fucking slap you upside the head.
All right, enough with the black on black violence here. Enough with
No, it's
that.
quite unlike. He's kind of white. He's a little white.
You think I'm white?
I said a little white. I didn't say white. I said a little white.
I said black on black
Wow.
violence.
By the way, let me
Racist.
let me just show you
You
something.
are,
from Comic-Con.
you are as close to white as fucking Todd is. How's that?
Oh, here he is bringing up Comic-Con again. Go ahead, Andy.
Oh, dear Lord, here we go.
I got this cool badge, got GCPD badge.
All right, so our next
Look
scene.
at you, Rockefeller.
I got
Our
this.
next scenes are GCPD. We end up having Gordon, of course, knock out the dumbass fucker who needs his pills, which, by the way, reminds me of Marv from Sin City.
Yeah, it does.
He's got a condition. He's got a condition. Sorry, I was just watching both of those movies the other day. He needs his pills. Of course, Bullock gets on his ass about doing that. They end up catching up the Wayne case. Of course, Bullock is trying to get out of it. And blah, 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 Fish Mooney. Up to Fish Mooney. Because Fish Mooney that's its own conversation. Anyone have anything for that block up to Fish Mooney?
Yeah, I do.
Go for it.
I did like Bullock, honestly. I did. Because he reminded me of the old animated series of Bullock. He was always an asshole and just hated Batman. So this was a really interesting approach to pull. And also, he's like a mentor, well, quote-unquote mentor to James. So I didn't really hate the character. It was just James himself. I didn't really... It's not because he was a bad actor. It's just because I've seen that before him, the rookie cop and who always goes into the situations like fully cock and ready low. It's like, yeah, we know. And that whole conversation with him and Bruce Wayne, I know you guys liked it, but for me it felt like a little hammy. But again, I let it slide because, let's be honest, it was going to happen anyways.
Lackadaisical.
Yeah,
I have to say this. Every time I see Bullock, and every time I see Donald Logue as Bullock, Matt, I swear to God, I
Get
just
all
see
hot
you.
mouth.
Fuck you! I see where you're going with this. Fuck you.
No, that's a compliment.
Yeah, he kind of does it like that.
I almost went as Bullock last Halloween. I can totally see it. I can.
You
Yeah, you
can't
have
go
the
back.
you have the
Trench
hat,
coat.
you have the
Trench
hair.
coat. If I can get the trench coat, I can pull off Bullock every time.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, because you look so much like in the you have his eyes a little bit, you have the hat, you have the long hair, you have the beard. It's like, come on, like every time he showed, I was like, he looks like Matt. He got up. I was like, Matt, that's Matt.
I was thinking,
My only problem with that is that I cannot be anywhere close to the asshole that Bullock is. I'm
No,
just
no,
not
no, no,
capable
no,
of it.
that's true.
no,
That's
no.
true.
You have a bigger heart, and you have a big you have a bigger heart than he has.
I have a bigger everything. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Ha!
That's
And
Right.
adorable.
That's more funny.
And that's what she said. I liked the conversation with him and Bruce, Gordon and Bruce. I feel like because we know where these two are gonna end up in 20 years from now.
Yeah, yeah. Bullock's not gonna move anywhere, and Gordon's gonna be his boss. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ironic.
no, but I love Gordon and Bruce together. I feel like that even I don't want to say father figure, but he kind of has. It's kind of that connection, between Bruce and Gordon in a little bit, and that's what I really enjoyed. The actor who plays Bruce, he's great. He's really good.
The one thing of these scenes that I kind of didn't get is there was that initial scene in which Gordon fucking punched out that guy who needed his pills.
Yeah.
However, in Batman Year One, and I think I've seen it one other place as well, and I forget where it is. You realize that James Gordon is not someone you want to fuck with.
Oh no.
I mean, this guy does precision punches with speed and accuracy like no one outside of like Krav Maga training has.
But isn't he a soldier?
Oh yeah, he's an ex-soldier.
Oh yeah, he is majorly an ex-soldier. We're not talking we're not talking Army. We're not even talking Marine Corps. This motherfucker was a Green Beret.
Yeah, bad motherfucker.
Yeah, and when it comes to Green Beret is the people that the Navy SEALs respect, that the Force Recon respect. Green Beret is some badass motherfuckers, and he was a Green Beret.
Yeah.
And you don't fuck with them. No, I don't care who you are.
Right.
And yeah, in Batman Year One, and one other place they show him fight, even as an old man, you don't fuck with Gordon. You just don't.
By the way, I have an interesting little Batman Year One fact. In the animated movie, the guy who plays Gordon on Gotham, Ben McKenzie, he actually voiced Batman.
I actually I
Wow.
knew that. I had just forgotten that. I would have brought it up
That's
eventually.
actually kind of cool.
Yeah. But like on.
I was just gonna say, does anyone else have anything to add to that up to Fish Mooney? Because Fish Mooney and that is a completely different conversation.
Did we get to see the other detectives? I forgot their names, and I didn't really care.
Montoya and Allen.
Montoya and Allen. Montoya, who by the way is a raging dyke,
Yes.
What?
who eventually becomes the Spectre. These are major characters who become. They kind of have them as like backup characters in this, but they become major characters. Montoya becomes the Question, who, if you don't know who the Question is, that's understandable. He's not a major superhero, but he is a superhero.
No
And,
face. No face.
Yeah, no face, and that's his thing because it originally was a guy. Was he questions everything, and he always finds the fucking answer.
Because he's the question.
Crispin Allen, after he dies, he becomes the Spectre, who is the most powerful character outside of the gods,
Right.
outside of God himself, basically. He is the most powerful character in the DC universe. As a matter of fact, in the Infinite Crisis, he pretty much kills almost every magic user ever.
He didn't give a
It's
fuck.
sad that we won't be able to see the Spectre on Gotham, though.
What's that?
No.
No,
It's sad that we won't-
that's a question. Is people are wondering whether Constantine is going to get the.
Yeah, Constantine already has Spectre. They've cast him already.
Yeah,
What's
that's
that?
Spectre.
Constantine has cast the guy who's going to play Jim Corrigan. Although, since there's Jim Corrigan and Crispin Allen, you never know. But
Oh God! Did you just have to say that?
oh fuck.
You just. I'm watching. I'm seriously. I'm watching Isaiah masturbate right now because you said that.
I'm sorry. I'm also. it's been a long day, but I don't know if they can use Spectre on Gotham because, well, one, Gotham doesn't seem to be, the supernatural, the fantastical
Not
show.
yet.
Like,
Not yet, but we might get there.
now, I have a question for the panelists here. Does it bother you a bit that we don't know what time frame this is? Because they've said, the producers have said, oh, it's a little bit, it's a bit both of the past and the present. But
It
you
doesn't
want
bother me at all because that's the one thing they brought over from Batman the Animated Series. It's supposed to have a feel of being in the past, but while still being in the present. I mean, they straight out mentioned cell phones in that very first episode.
I had a problem with that though.
But you don't see a single smartphone though. You see like old, like
Yeah.
flip phones.
Analog
But
flip phones. Yeah.
I had a problem with that though, to be honest.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I like don't really care that
I wish
much.
it was like a period piece, like the
That's-
70s or 80s. but-
That's something in Gotham that actually doesn't bother me. I mean,
Oh, it's just me.
when I watched the pilots, it kind of felt like present day. It did. Now I did notice the lack of smartphones, the old dinosaur flip phones that they have, which was actually kind of cool because I actually used to want one of those phones when I was a kid. But it just doesn't bother me. It doesn't. I mean, as long as it's not too far in the past, I'm good. I'm good.
Mm,
And what
Ivy
Charles said
Pepper.
is exactly why it's not going to matter to the average viewer of the younger demographic, because to them a fucking flip phone is the 1930s anyway.
yeah, pretty much. It's like they ain't gonna care. They haven't read comics.
pretty much.
He just said,
Even though those
when I was
flip
a
phones
kid.
were the thing like 10 years ago.
I remember, and I like the fact that we can be the guys who be like, "Well, remember in our times, flip phones was so, like the thing, of the
Yeah, it was
century."
awesome.
Flip
Nah.
phones were in with the cool crowd.
guys, if you viewers want to buy a flip phone, the A380 is only $20. Go ahead and call AT&T and pick one of those up.
Wait,
So let's
don't-
continue on.
Don't you work for AT&T?
Shut up.
They're $20 if you can pass a credit check.
Well, if you pass a credit check and are willing to go on a 2-year contract, yeah.
Oh god.
I actually that was actually a genuine question. I don't know if you work for AT&T.
yes, we do.
He does.
Myself and
He
Knuckles.
does.
What? That's like scary. That's like hell
Um,
scary.
So Fish Mooney, shall we talk about her?
Yes. Okay. So now we have the scene where they show up to Fish Mooney's. Of course, there is the beating going down in the alley, of which, of course, Fish Mooney is participating in quite vehemently.
Yeah.
And then the Penguin ends up joining in as well, and is quite happy to do so. Of course, that's when Bullock shows up with Gordon. They have their conversation with Gordon, where basically Fish Mooney is like, "Okay, this is the guy we have to pay attention to." And go ahead and go in the back while I talk to Bullock and maybe plot nefarious things. Of that scene, what did you guys like?
Can I start?
Sure, go for it.
Okay, Andy.
See, okay, here's the thing. I haven't seen Jada Pinkett Smith in a lot of things. So seeing her in Gotham was kind of refreshing to me. I like her a lot. I know she's a bit cheesy, a little bit over the top, but this is the kind of thing that I like sometimes with my villains. I like that she is sassy. She's very, and look, she's a strong female character. I like that we actually, because can we all agree on that Gotham, say that, it's very male dominated when it comes to
Yeah,
comic
it's
books?
very Caucasian too.
Well,
Yes, considering that I can only think of, outside of the Bat family myself, I can only think of 3 female characters. Yes, it's pretty fair to say that Gotham is pretty female dominated. Like, seriously, in the comic book,
male
3
dominated.
female
Male
characters
dominated.
would be Harley, Poison Ivy, and
Catwoman.
Catwoman. That's it. That's all I can think of, at least off the top of my head, unless you go into the Bat family.
Yeah,
Although
so
this show is very much female dominated, it leads in with Selena Kyle. It touches on Ivy, and the main villain is a woman.
Well,
Yeah,
Well-
well, that's what I was getting to. I like the fact we have a main character on the show who's a female. She's the main villain of the show,
Yeah.
and like I said, I think Jada Smith, she's fantastic. I think she's funny. I think because no, she's very funny. And by the way,
She is.
that baseball bat, she brought it along to the press rooms at an event this summer. It was hilarious.
Well,
He was walking. in the
Then
park.
what's that?
I actually have a problem with that baseball bat. That baseball bat was not full metal.
it wasn't.
When the penguin dropped it, it should have been like ding, 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 ding. It wasn't. It was like ding, ding. Yeah, it's mostly plastic.
Yeah, but
This is from someone who used to be skinny and played baseball quite a bit.
but
You
on the
played
second-
baseball?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Ironically.
I was also cross country once upon a time.
I thought you were going to say cross-dresser.
No, I worked Rocky, so I was that too.
But the pickup.
No, wait,
oh,
can I just finish my sentence quickly? I think there's something going on between Bullock and her. I think were they fuckers? perhaps?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
We
Yes.
find out later in the episode what is really going on.
We'll get there.
As-
I know where you're going with that, Charles. We'll get there.
Okay. So can I say?
I'm done. I'm done.
No,
Can
no.
I go?
No. I go first. Be quiet.
Rock, paper,
Hey,
scissors.
Yeah, do it.
All right.
But this is the.
You knew what he was going to throw, and you still threw rock. Isaiah, go.
Thank you. Anyway. Fish Mooney-
Forget you. Ah.
Be quiet, Charles. Be quiet. Be quiet. Be quiet. Anyway,
was so stupid.
Fish Mooney. Honestly, I liked her more than any other character in the show because she was original, and like Andy said, she was everything that I want in a female character. She was strong. She was.
Even though you told me that she was going to be the plague of the show because you
Well, she still was
hate.
a play, but and she was a bad actress. She's still a play, but that's a long story. But again, it was very interesting. It was, like Andy said, it was refreshing. To me, it was because she wasn't an issue. It was everything else was the issue. But her, she was goofy. She was over the top. But I like that though. I like that type of stuff. If it's goofy and over the top, but it's very genuine, I was like, cool by me. And you can see that she can be like a mad. She can be like really like a kingpin of Marvel. I mean, of DC. Like how you see Kingpin in the Marvel universe, he's a really big mob boss. You can see her become a really big mob boss.
Wait, she's going to be a big fat white guy?
Hey, like Andy
Actually,
said,
he only has 6% body fat. He's rest of it is muscles.
He is. He's very, very strong.
That's in the movie, and everybody has.
No, I mean,
reason the
Kingpin-
movie sucked.
Kingpin in the comics, he's
That
very,
was. He said that in the comic books, Matt.
yeah, he's strong. He can actually go toe to toe with a lot of people, even Spider-Man. So don't judge his weight. He can actually
Even
fight.
you, Isaiah.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? What I was gonna say. Anyway,
You don't get what.
In that case, I'm now 3% body weight, 3% body fat. So fuck you all.
see,
Sure.
he's like the Kingpin.
Sure.
He's a bad motherfucker.
Go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Isaiah.
You're
I kinda
fine.
did, but go for it.
But I'm gonna end this off really quickly though, because Fish Mooney represents if they go more original route and they change up more characters, because Fish Mooney, he's actually a male character in the comic books, so I'm glad they changed that character up more, and I hope we see more characters like her, original, made for the show only, until they make it into the comic books. So I'm okay with that. I like that character a lot.
All right. Charles, go for it. All right,
Yes,
Charles. It's
okay.
done. Go ahead.
I
no,
hate you,
didn't
Matt.
answer
You're
fast
an
enough. We're going
asshole.
back to Charles.
And you looked so bored, by the way,
Yes,
Charles. You were
You
like,
look so boring.
Ah, come on. Ah.
Go.
But no, on the, yes, but Fish Mooney, yeah, that whole scene, just her whole thing, I don't like her. But then, like I said in the initial thoughts at the beginning of the Hangout, I'm not a fan of Jada Pinkett Smith. So, yeah.
Why?
If it was
Why?
a different actress, why am I not? Oh my God! I'm not a fan of hers because
I want to hear this shit. What TV shows or movies did she do that you watched and hated her so much in? I guarantee you the answer is zero.
The
What?
Matrix Reloaded and Revolutions, I did not like her in those movies. I also didn't like her in the TV show Hawthorne.
Character you even cared about? She was the sister of the character that was fucking the guy that's actually a character in the show, in the movie.
I don't know, but anyway, I just never really. Okay, moving on. It's just
Go on.
6 hours later.
I
Did
think
Charles
you.
just freeze? Charles, you're not allowed to freeze in the middle of your diatribe.
Only girls can do that. Just,
Lost Charles. Okay, go for it, Andy.
But I haven't said my things. Let Todd talk.
It really
Todd doesn't get to talk.
fucking going back to me for some reason. I don't know why. It's not like I'm doing anything weird. The camera just keeps going back to me.
Your fucking chest.
But anyway, I thought this was a thing, Andy. I thought this is what we were doing. We agreed upon this in the beginning.
No, this is not what we're doing, Todd.
Oh,
We're not doing
great.
that. Todd. Not
I'm much better
anymore.
than all you guys. So yeah.
It's only between you and me.
On your e-cig and vape day. That's what we're doing today.
Gizmo.
I got kicked from the hangout. Yeah.
But, okay, let me say a few words about Fish. I actually kind of agree with Charles. I didn't love Jada Pinkett Smith in the role. I think they could have gotten somebody better, and I'm actually not looking forward to the fact that I feel her and Penguin are going to be the whole arc of this first season. It's gonna. I mean, come on, penguins eat fish. I mean, like,
Funny.
that's going to be the last.
Why do you have to get sexual on us,
I
Todd?
know, right?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
It's because he's more powerful than you are.
It's a skinny fish too.
You know who else eats fish? Cat women. Just saying.
That's wrong, Matt. That's just.
Hey, it's not that bad. You look at it.
And you
it's
know
not
what?
cool.
You know what eats catwomen's?
But listen, seriously, mark my words. That's going to be the last episode, the last line of this.
Andy, were you going to say Chinese people?
Oh, please.
I was
That
gonna
was
say
awesome.
God.
What's that?
Nothing.
I was
It
going to
was-
say, if you're going to be racist in a particular hangout, this is the hangout to be racist in. Isn't that right, Isaiah? The most
Todd.
racist black person I know.
Yes.
Todd,
It's
let me
true.
point something out to you because I don't know if you read interviews and so on with the show, but this season is pretty much about the uprising of Penguin. So in next season it's probably gonna be about Riddler. Next season it's gonna probably be about,
I would say Poison Ivy.
Ivy Pepper.
Fuck you.
That would be kind of cool. I think that having this particular season, we're getting into wild speculation way too early.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of cool if we have like a build-up of Penguin somehow finding. That's just it. Is I don't see how he can without support, but somehow finding support and creating his own little tiny empire, of which digs into Fish Mooney's empire, as it were. Or as they say in 21 Jump Street, just kind of like on right into that shit.
Really?
Oh my god, I love 21 Jump Street.
I
Have you
think
guys seen 22? Have you guys seen 22 Jump Street yet?
That's
Yeah,
actually
no.
what I was referring to. It was
Yes.
22. 22.
Holy fuck, 22 was so
Yeah.
fucking funny.
Naruto.
I want Channing Tatum.
Anywho, moving
I
on to
want
the show.
you to- I'm a completely straight guy.
Well, I
You're
called
not.
dibs on him.
After the sentence, you're not, Matt.
No, I don't want his dick. I just want the rest of him. Like, he can leave his dick at home.
I want his body. All of it.
Anywho, folks.
You might as well go for the cock too. I mean,
And,
Wow.
I just want to, and all I want to do is whisper.
You're
All I
completely
want
off
to do.
topic. I appreciate beauty in all its forms. However, dick,
Thank you.
not beautiful by anyone's standards.
Thank you.
Andy can lie about that shit, but dick is never beautiful.
What do you mean I can lie about it?
What's
I
that?
think Steve's that.
Dick is never beautiful. Just saying.
Oh,
And that's
look,
from someone who's
look,
fucking
The
artsy.
dicks that I've seen, which I haven't seen a lot of, they're pretty good.
All right. So,
Okay.
Like, if you imagine the size of this sonic screwdriver.
yeah.
No, I
You
think,
seriously
I
comparing
think
yourself-
this is why
Wait,
this is why we started Geeks of the Round.
This
About
is
dicks.
exactly why we started Geeks around to talk about.
Geeks
So,
Around was started to talk about Channing Tatum's cock. Is that what you're telling me?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So let's go to the next
Andy,
scene.
I have bad news for you. I have horrible news for you.
Am I
Channing
pregnant?
Tatum has said he's not going to be in Magic Mike 2.
Thank God.
I never saw the first one.
Whoa.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
Who's not going to be in it? Magic Mike's an awesome movie. I swear to God. You want to? This is going to sound quote
So the
unquote.
straight thing.
I watched the movie and I was like, damn, these guys are freaking great dancers. Like I was actually like,
You like Brokeback, didn't you?
But guys, guess who's in Magic Mike 2 though?
So here we go. Gotham, after Fish Mooney. We now have the investigation of it. We end up coming up upon the person, Pamela, whatever her fucking name is.
Mario Pepper.
Yeah, Mario Pepper. We get into that particular story. We decide that he is the bad guy. And then we find the jewels, the pearls, and he is the bad guy. And then, of course, later on, we find out that he is not the bad guy.
But that was so weird. I mean, the whole how that scene. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say in that, I didn't find a whole lot of anything interesting in that. The one thing I found interesting in that was Barbara, his fiancée. So if you have anything to say about Barbara, the fiancée, or I am the bad guy, I'm not the bad guy, etc., go for it.
Well,
I like Barbara. I think she's spunky, and I think the secret.
I'd smoke all over.
I don't care for her. I just don't. I don't
Isaiah, you don't care about anything.
Exactly.
I
She's not Agent Carter.
I
She's
just
not Agent
made
Carter.
Andy like speechless for a full 5 seconds.
But she's not Agent. I get what you guys are saying. Barbara has something. She might be interesting, but I just don't care. It's like I've seen these type of storylines. I literally have. It's like okay.
No, you don't know the storyline unless you've been watching what exactly is going on with her. I don't think you do know the storyline.
Okay, we're gonna be like, oh, is my husband gonna be corrupt? Is he corrupt? Can I trust him? Am I a lesbian?
Is
All these
Isaiah?
Holy
decisions.
crap! It does know what's going on with Barbara. Fuck, that is probably the best fucking summary I've heard of her story, like ever. That is perfect, Isaiah. Do it again, seriously, like for the camera.
Oh, okay, Duncan. Oh no, I'm Barbara. I gotta figure out all these things. Is my husband really a crook? Or my fiance, where you want to call it? Or am I a lesbian? What can go wrong in my life? Oh,
Well, if she's
no.
a lesbian, good for
No,
her.
First off, she's bi, but still, she's bi.
Represented.
She's Montoya. She is not sure whether or not her husband or her soon-to-be husband is a crook.
Yeah.
She's very rich. She is basically currently the Kathy Kane of this storyline.
Yeah. And I did.
By the way,
Rich girl who is
did you guys notice the Birds of Prey Easter egg in the apartment?
Besides
What
the
was
birthday,
The clock, because they live in a clock tower. They have a clock.
Ooh.
What if that becomes their lair in their
Wait,
universe?
are you telling me inside of a loving home, they have a clock? Oh my god, that's gotta be a reference to something else.
No, it's like.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of thinking that's
something.
pretty shady as well. Yeah, it's not a reference to Birds of Prey.
If not,
It's very possible that it might be, but if it is, it's very, very, very thin reference.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about a normal size clock, for fuck's sake. I hope you guys realize I'm talking about the big size clock they have in front of their window.
Whoa.
All right, I'm gonna have to rewatch that scene. If it is a huge fucking clock in front of the window, I will acknowledge that Andy has a point. However, if it's a little fucking clock on a mantle somewhere, I'm going to send a no fuck to Andy because you get no fucks. Okay.
Also, going to the other guy, the other plot, which is telegraphed that it was going to be like one of those types like, oh, he didn't do it and blah blah blah. But if he didn't do it, then why are you doing that other stupid shit? Like, again, this is a very confusing plot. Like, it was.
No. You are actually getting into my. You are stomping on my.
Yeah, stop
my theory.
his fucking shit.
Theory.
You're stomping on my wild accusation. My wild theory is I guess I'm gonna say it now, is they got the right guy the first time. I know that they said that they didn't get him, but I was watching that very first scene and I was watching it very carefully to see the build. I was looking at the eyes. I was looking at fucking everything about this guy that I possibly could under that black stuff or the face and the whole
mask.
That was the guy. There's no question. Unless that guy has a twin, that is the guy.
That wasn't the guy because he was way too big. He was way too big.
Really?
They were the same body size. They
Oh,
weren't.
that's
Watch that
bull.
scene again. You'll see. You'll see it. I swear.
Yeah,
That is.
they're the same body build. If you look at it close, like, yeah, they are.
It's the same fucking guy. Look at the eyes. Look at the build. Again,
know.
trust me on this.
The bulge in his pants was way different.
Maybe like little kids.
To be fair, Knuckles, when I'm hanging out with you, you don't notice the bulge in my pants. So, or maybe you just don't know. You just don't mention it.
Anywho, let me.
Matt, you've revealed too much about your bulge.
Apparently,
Anyways, in a plot.
maybe the bulge isn't big enough.
That whole plot line was just so. To me, it was mishandled a little bit because it was just thrust into her face. And then we saw another villain character like, ooh, look at her. She's playing with her own plants. Wink, wink, ha, ha. Guess who that is? Like, I know who that is. Please leave me alone. I'm trying to watch the show.
You do.
No. My thought is that it was a double twist because we literally find out later that it's not him. Except my theory is that we finding out that it's not him is the lie. That is the twist because it actually is him.
That's
I
confusing.
believe that Fish Mooney actually returns the fucking jewelry back to the original mugger's house, and maybe even steals his shoes because she was prompted to by Bullock. I think she sends it back to him because all the evidence is going to go to him anyway. I think she says, "Fuck this guy." He brings us the proof that they're dead. But then, of course, now we have cops coming down our neck, and I don't give a fuck about him. So let's frame him for his own crime.
Okay.
That doesn't really
Why wouldn't you frame someone for their own crime?
Can I please inform Isaiah on something? Because speaking on the essentially what you were saying was that was just overdone, right? That thing, you've seen it before. It's
Yeah, I have.
to be what you were saying about that scene. But
Yeah.
you guys realize we're grown adults watching children's programming, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Questions shouldn't be asked. I don't think they should. I really don't. And I think
But what if I like to ask questions? What if I like questions?
I do like questions. I'm
Yeah.
going to
By
agree
the way-
with Kenny for the first time in probably 2 years. I like questions.
Even though I have even known you for just 1 year.
Yeah,
Rich?
that was kind of the point, Andy.
Guys, I sent you a screenshot by the way. I sent you a Google Plus screenshot.
How did these two just start flirting? What the fuck just happened?
It happens a lot, Todd.
I'm
Not
just-
just me and Charles. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. Is that right, Charles?
Well, Todd, when you left me that morning after what we did, of course I have to move on to the next man.
Well, they're obviously jealous. I mean,
I'm
again,
just telling you, Todd, I either have a very large penis or a very open anal cavity. One of the
both.
two. And so that's why me and Andy flirt.
Anyway,
Anyway. I mean,
I'm a unicorn.
but, oh god.
let me ask you guys this: what was your favorite? Like, even if there was a lot of them, what was your favorite Easter egg?
That is a great question
That
that we
is.
should probably leave till the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which we're almost to, because it's been almost an hour since this conversation started. We're almost
But
there.
it's a
That's
conclave.
great
But it's a
question. We'll get
conclave. It's a conclave. We can talk as long as we want. Oh.
Yeah, the point
there.
there.
Except I want to try and keep it about an hour, if not less. Thank you.
Well,
Because we're
these
going to try
are
and
the
do this as a
rules.
regular thing from this point on. That my goal is to do this as a regular thing on the last Sunday of every month. So,
Wait. Okay.
So, let's see. So we got Fish Mooney, we got all of that, we got the investigation. I personally think that they actually got the right guy the first time around, even though they're trying to give us a MacGuffin saying it isn't. What do we got after that?
We got Falcone. Oh, he was pretty much like questioning the investigation itself, and when he found that there was no some type of shoes, and we all talked about that too. He
Shiny
started going.
shoes.
Yeah, he started going to Fish Mooney and started pretty much questioning her, and she didn't like that. Like, this mofo is stepping up to me. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's get rid of him. And
This
so
Fish
Bullock-
got so
this-
pissed.
yeah, but then Bullock tries to calm her down, and it's like, you can't really hurt my partner. If you do, I had to come after you, so please don't do it. And he said, okay, let me talk to my boys. Kill this motherfucker right now.
I do have a small problem with that scene. A small problem with that scene, and that is Bullock is not a dumb motherfucker.
He's not.
Bullock very easily could have worded that differently.
Yeah.
Could have started with, if you kill my partner, what am I supposed to do? Tell me what I'm supposed to do if you kill my partner.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he should have thought better than that.
Yeah, but it felt like something in the dialogue was just wrong because it's like they know each other, so why would he say it like that?
Right, that got really confusing, Andy. I mean, matter of fact, that was really weird too. How she got really, really angry. Like he's not threatening you; he's just telling you the odds and ends. Like if you do this,
no. From her point of view, he totally threatened her. No, from her point of view, he threatened her. He said, "You know what? I'm going to go after you. I don't have a choice to go after you. I'm going to go after you."
Yeah, he should have said, "I'm gonna." He should have said, "I'm going to be forced to have to go after you."
Right, like a manhunt, really. So I don't like that. The scene was just so bleh.
It was a good scene, but there was some dialogue issues. I like that they were then hanging up upside down together.
That was like, eh.
I think the reason they were hanging upside down together is because the fact that the people who are doing this are actually relatively honorable people. They wanted to do this right. They weren't going to do it themselves. They were sending someone else in, the guy in the fucking butcher apron.
They were
like American Horror Stories. Like
American Horror Stories.
They were filming it. That's the thing that cracked me up. I was like, who are you going to show this to? Like, who are you showing this to?
Right. I'm the only one who liked that. I thought that was pretty awesome.
I thought it was as well. I really did.
It was kind of weird.
I said it was fine, but I was laughing at it too because it was like, who are they gonna show it to? Oh, guys, we're showing you a new movie at cinema. How two fucking cops died.
They're gonna show the Fish Mooney, of course, because she wants to know that they're dead.
Oh, by the way, there's a scene when you talk about it after this.
Okay.
No. Talk about that scene because we're kind of starting to wrap things up.
The whole scene itself. I'm sorry.
As you guys know, we're gonna get some major Easter eggs to who the Joker could potentially be in the show, and we got one of those cases in this episode.
Can I interrupt just real quick?
No, he's not. I'm not saying he's the Joker.
If you're referring to the comedian, that's just it. Did mention. Oh, you're not referring to the comedian.
No,
let me interject instead of interrupting. The comedian may be the Joker, may not be. That's just it. They did say that they were going to introduce someone who could be the Joker in every single episode.
Go ahead, Andy. Can I tell you why he is the Joker? Because that actor is from Fresh Beat Band, which is like Yo Gabba Gabba for kids. So he's a somebody, but he's a somebody that nobody knows. You know what I mean?
Well, that's not the Joker.
Andy,
because
Andy, whoa! I already interrupted Andy. I want to hear what Andy has to say.
I don't think he's the Joker. I think it's gonna because here's the thing. The next Joker the Joker will be on Gotham. He will be the next Joker after Heath Ledger. Do you know how much fucking pressure that's gonna put on the casting director for this show when he or she is casting for the Joker? It's
not that much, really, because it's just a prequel. It's not really nothing really big is going to happen. It's just a prequel.
I don't think that's good.
Isaiah, you don't know that.
It is a prequel.
Well, it's a prequel, yes, but you don't know that they're not going to make a big deal out of it.
It's a prequel. I was saying it's the prequel.
This is me applauding Isaiah for the simplicity of his answer. Yes, it is a prequel, but that does not diminish what Andy's trying to say.
Isaiah, you're not friends anymore. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Still talking to you, so
I'm getting a new friend.
Also, explain why that guy wasn't the Joker, because he's a good comedian. The Joker, he's not. He's an awful comedian. That's why he failed.
Oh, Isaiah actually makes up a point. Is that is true? Is in every comic in which the Joker was a comedian, he was a horrible comedian.
Yeah.
So
or Fish Mooney just has bad taste of humor.
No,
that's possible too.
He was straight terrible. They booed his ass off. Like, get this mofo off the stage. Get him off. Like, I had
This
to
guy-
get out. Go.
This guy had no stage presence, you know.
Right.
Yeah, the Fish laughed, but
But
can I say why he would make a good Joker after Heath Ledger? Because nobody would expect him. To go from Fresh Beat Band to playing this iconic character would be newsworthy, you know. It would.
Okay, you guys are gonna make me have to say
really.
this. You guys are gonna make me have to say this. I'm gonna lose fucking 25 followers for saying this out loud. It's gonna have to happen. Heath Ledger was a great villain.
Yes.
Heath Ledger was a great character actor.
Yes.
Heath Ledger was a horrible Joker. He was not the Joker.
Can't agree.
I like Jack Nicholson.
Okay, Todd, you spoke up first.
Yeah.
Associate him with any other Joker ever.
Boom.
That's the thing. I can't. But you know, the Joker is very different in each iteration of the comic. Joker is very different. And
No. There are certain things that remain the same. There are many things that remain the same. First off, the Joker. No version of the Joker would ever burn money.
Yeah, he wouldn't ever.
What about the Joker?
No version of the Joker would ever do any fucking crime that did not have chemicals involved.
I can't agree. Joker in the New 52 Detective Comics cut his own face off. I think that one would burn money.
No.
Wait. The Joker also would never, ever do pills with Mary Kate Olsen.
That is true too. That's super, super true.
Can I +1 Knuckles right now? At least +1.
And plus, also,
Cotton, you got it, dude.
wouldn't Joker use like real? His plans are always stupid and make no sense. That's why he was so dangerous. Like,
No, they only make sense to him, which is
Right.
the difference.
that's why it was so crazy and stupid, because he was just like, dude, this makes no sense. I know. Deal
And
with
that's
it.
just it. Is that the idea of that the Joker in the movie had a goal.
Yes.
That goal was not self-serving. The goal of every other Joker that had existed before that, from Cesar Romero to even before that, to the guy who fucking took down Batgirl, to the guy who took down Jason Todd, to every single other Joker, has always had a goal and a principle. Joker even once upon a time, told fucking Red Skull, because that's when they were crossing over between Marvel, told Red Skull, you know what? I may be a lunatic, but I'm an American lunatic. So fuck you. Like, that is the Joker. Joker has principles. He has ideals. It's not about chaos. It's about achieving his goals. The Heath Ledger did play an amazing bad guy, and he played an amazing character actor, but that character was not the Joker, or at least it was not. It was the Joker in name only.
Can we also be fair that can the Joker be like kind of gay? Because he's really very much attracted to Batman. Like, dude, if you want to be a Batman, just say it. If you want to fuck him, just do it. I'm just saying.
As a proud member of the LGBT community, hell no.
What? I'm just being honest. Like, dude, just do it, Joker. You know you have a fetish for him.
Because I like the relation with him and Harley.
Harley's just saying.
Before we go
And
back
you know who the one person who should not like the relationship between him and Harley is Harley. But other than that, everyone else fucking enjoys watching that shit.
But wait,
So
can I
I'm
just bring him out, because we did go off track about why I believe he's wrong, absolutely wrong. Yes, he's totally different as the Joker, completely different. He embodied all of the necessary elements, and he brought something completely new to the mix that the public accepted. And because the public accepted it, he is the Joker, period.
That's just they have said that every single week they're going to show a person who could potentially be the Joker.
I don't like
So
that.
in the very next episode, we could see someone wearing, for example, a red hood, who's a completely different person.
I like that. That's a really cool. That's a cool little.
The Red Hood.
Yeah, he had a red hood back when.
Oh my God, Andy, are we going to have to relegate?
No, I just remember.
It's terrible.
You're not talking about the red, the red hood.
No,
that Jason
no,
you're talking
no,
about.
Andy,
No,
we
there's
have to
another.
put Charles.
I know.
Sorry.
I know.
You didn't
I
know
know.
who
I know.
Barry Allen is. You didn't know who the Red Hood was.
Right.
No, I know. I just forgot. I know who Red Hood is. I seen
Okay,
the
all
origin.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's two red hoods though.
I know who Wally West is.
There were more than 2 Red Hoods, Isaiah. There were many more than 2 Red Hoods.
I know. Ha!
Jason
but
Todd was one.
Maybe, but should we start, moving on from this?
Can we talk about Falcone? Because he came in to save the day. He actually had a
From this point on, all we have left is the recap. I mean, is there anything else about the story itself?
well.
I like how different Falcone was in this version. Like, because we saw him in The Dark Knight, and he was kind of a bad guy, but in this version, he's like, he bought the cop. He owns the police force because he wants a safe city.
Yeah,
He
Falcone.
is the comic version of himself instead of the movie version of himself.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Which is a good thing.
Yeah, I like that. I very much like that, and I think he's a good actor too. He has he's like, I love this city. I love that.
And I mean it. He does mean it. He loves the city.
And he is, in this story, a person who could have, if he wanted, turned a gun on fucking James Gordon right there, shot him in the head right there, and walked away without a single day in jail. Like, that is the Falcone that we see in this particular episode.
Right.
The only reason that fucking Gordon is alive is because Falcone.
He knows his
Really,
father.
because he also knew his dad.
Right. Yes, he knows his father, which is weird.
Yeah, because Gordon's father was the DA once upon a time.
Yes.
You say once upon a time all the time. I'm like, is he talking about the show? Once upon a
No, I'm not talking about the show, but I am gonna watch it right after this hangout.
Cool. Very cool. And I hope you will see the screenshot I sent to you on Google Plus because nobody tells. Yeah. There's a freaking clock
Now
tower.
ignoring all of you, I'm now gonna check for that screenshot. Continue.
I already saw
Yeah,
it.
so,
I already saw the screenshot.
I haven't got to it yet because I'm talking to you guys. Ha! But
Before we go
Bit
on
too much.
but again, I'm gonna
topic,
okay. But you gonna say? You go ahead, Todd.
unless you were going to be on Falcone, go ahead.
I was gonna say very quickly. I like Falcone. I really did because he was genuine and he was really. He felt like his old character in the comic books. And Fish Mooney and him together make a really interesting power of individuals who control the city itself. So if they do go to war, I think that'll be 100% interesting to watch, hands down.
And that's actually something I was thinking as well. Is I see Falcone as the very confident, and there's a reason for his confidence. A very confident person in his seat. He is the crime boss. He is the boss of Gotham. And then you have right below him the person who really feels that she should be the boss of that, and isn't necessarily. While she's hungry for that particular position, she is not as hungry as, say, the Penguin. And the Penguin is gonna fucking I'm going to guess, and this is based on you, Isaiah, I'm going to guess he's going to get support from Falcone to take out Fish Mooney. And then, once he takes out Fish Mooney and he has that support, I think then and only then is it going to be him and Falcone. And I don't think he's going to attack Falcone directly. I think he's going to be like, this is what I do, this is what you do, and we're going to live happily together.
Because they split their.
I want Falcone to be part of the show for as long as possible because, we know that Falcone later on, he lives on to be part of Batman's timeline.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to die. And that's the thing. That's the thing that makes me feel happy about the show is that we know who's going to make it and who's not going to make it because these are, you don't kill Ivy Pepperov. You don't. Sorry. I'm so mean, but you don't kill Selena Kyle off, you don't kill Penguin off, you don't kill Riddler off.
We hope that they keep at least the basic storyline together. If they don't keep the basic storyline together, then they can kill whoever the fuck they want. But so long as they keep the basic storyline together and don't piss off us Batman fans, then you are correct.
Well, remember Bruno Heller, he said that they're not changing that much in the mythology. They're adding some new things that we haven't seen before. But Riddler will become the Riddler. Penguin will become the Penguin.
Yeah, on the subject of the Riddler, I gotta say that whole scene with the Riddler just really fucking pissed me off.
Why?
Well,
It was perfect in every way.
Listen to his argument.
The
It's not gonna
Riddler
make sense.
Oh Lord.
becoming the medical examiner and the forensics guy. Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Let me counter
Why?
that. Let me
It very
counter that.
easily could have happened.
No, it's just I can't see it, especially at the part where he like tries to make everything a freaking riddle. That's gonna get annoying really quick.
Have you seen the new TV show Forever?
Yes.
That is a person who is a medical examiner who everything is a fucking question. The only difference is here. By the way, Forever, if you've not watched it, watch it. It's amazing.
Oh no, I have watched. I've watched the first 2 episodes and I love it. I love Forever.
I was talking to the audience.
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Well,
If you have not watched it, watch it. It is worth it. If you get Highlander and you mix it with Sherlock, you're going to get Forever. Like, that is the show. It's pretty awesome.
Okay,
In any case, we don't know what fucking Riddler's background is. He very easily could have been a medical examiner. But in this particular case, this medical examiner, he just has one little quirk. And that is he finds enjoyment with bad jokes. I find enjoyment with bad jokes. Mine are just puns. Is a riddle.
Matt, let me add on it, because I said this to Charles in a private conversation, is that this origin story you're setting up for Riddler is genius. You know why? When he becomes a Riddler, he will have worked for the police force and he will know what they think like. So that's why he's gonna be. That's why he's gonna be. Wait. That's why he's gonna be able to outsmart everyone except for Batman.
Yeah, that's actually true too.
Well,
It's already been proven that Gordon is as smart as he is.
I will say this: the Riddler is actually one of my least favorite Batman villains.
Wow, really?
I've always found that guy annoying.
Wow, really? Wow.
The only version of the Riddler that I've actually enjoyed, because it just made me laugh, was Jim Carrey's version.
That's a
only
For
Batman.
Batman Forever.
Okay, anyways,
I know that Jim Carrey from Batman, Jim Carrey's version of the Riddler from Batman Forever is not even close to what the Riddler was in the comics.
All right,
But
can I ask the rest of the panel not to do what I'm about to do?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
There we go. So,
Well,
You can't respond to what I want to fucking say. Again, I gotta ask, what do you think you're watching? What franchise do you think you're into? Batman, the whole point, you have this dark, brooding knight, and, this hero who sort of looks evil. Everything that we look at as being the bad guys, that's our hero. And all the villains, the Joker, the Riddler, fucking Cockface, you know what I'm saying? They're these ridiculous villains that are bright and
Cockface is from Dick Tracy.
I would much rather see Clayface. I'd much rather see Clayface show up in.
that's not gonna happen.
Clay Aiken as Cockface.
Or Killer Croc. What about? I would be happy to see Killer Croc too.
Charles.
That's what I want to see in the show. You are correct, Charles. I was joking around before, and that's why I muted you. But honestly, you are correct. I would love to see like an early Killer Croc. I'd love to see him. I'd love to see some kid just showing up, and he's like got some guy beating on him, his father beating on him, and then like when his father starts beating on him, all of a sudden like the guy gets bloody fists and he doesn't realize why, and that's because of the fact that this kid is all of a sudden starting to get this power of like this crocodile skin. I'd love to see like these kind of powers develop, and that is what I'm really hoping this show is going to eventually do.
That could be
I
season
need
2 or
to
3.
to like slowly be able to control plants to grow faster, or I mean like the small little iterations. I love to see that in this show.
He's not been mentioned as one of the characters coming to the show this season. So far we know they're casting for Harvey Dent right now. They're bringing Mr. Freeze, Hugo Strange, and so on. Maybe I could see Killer Croc, a pre-Killer Croc come on in season 2, season 3.
Before you go far off this, Charles just explained to me why he hates the Riddler, because that was my question. If you like Batman, the Riddler is like the archetype Batman. That's like saying you don't like the Joker. I don't understand.
Well, I love the Joker.
But you don't like the Riddler. That makes
What
no
about the
sense.
Riddler don't you like?
I don't hate the Riddler. It's just I've always found him annoying with his constant riddles.
That's his thing.
I know that's his thing, and that's why I don't like him.
I just wish the Riddler didn't ask so many fucking questions.
Detective Charles, again, there's that contrast. Batman his point is to decipher riddles. So that makes the Riddler so perfect to go.
I don't know.
Arkham games.
I've always, like I said, I've always liked Scarecrow, Mr. Freeze, and the Joker. Those are my top three.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, now Poison Ivy's not there anymore.
I got a good point here because it's me. Ha. Okay, Charles, you're actually wrong. Edward Nygma did work for the police. It showed it in Batman Forever as well. So he did work for the
Batman
police.
Forever is not canon.
Thank you. Anyways, yes, he did work with the police.
Not canon. Not canon.
Let him finish. I don't agree either, but let him finish.
Cannot finish.
Anyway.
You never know.
Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Shut up, Andy.
Well, so I got 3 points and I'll be done. Okay, number 1, the Riddler did work with the police. It has been shown in comic books beforehand because it was really cool. And also, if you don't have someone, the Riddler, it looks like he's like a forensic scientist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's even more better too. It's more better than that whole Batman Forever. He was like a mad genius with whatever. So forensic scientist, have we seen on television and everything else? He's really good at this. He's gonna be like dissecting people's minds and he gets inside them and asks some crazy riddles with a bigger meaning. So that'll be really interesting. Number 2, my big issue behind the show is everyone knows one another. Like Cheers, everyone knows your name. What's up? Hey! Like really?
And everybody knows your name.
See,
Not everyone knows.
Charles, you need to watch Cheers and you need to know that shit.
Yeah. Anyways, it was just again, if they really show all, it will show like three villains, like from like zombie become villains. That'd be okay. But it showed every other villain. Like, please slow it down. Like, don't.
Well, you know, when you have the rights to use every Batman character in the book, well, that's you're annoying, and we still watch you.
I know, right? Because you love me. You love me, don't you? Exactly.
Burn. Hey, Isaiah. I think you're gonna need some ice for that burn.
Oh, really now, Mister? Who doesn't know the Hawk can talk? Okay, then shut up.
Ouch. Ouch.
Anyway,
Okay, how about we get into speculation mode now?
Not done yet, because you guys keep interrupting me. So be quiet over there. Be quiet.
You talk forever.
What? Anyways, back to what I was saying. Knowing the fact that everyone knows your name. Shut up. What's my other third point? The Joker. If they're gonna start saying like, "Ooh, who's gonna be the next Joker? Who might just be this?" I'm gonna hate that. I'm gonna be honest with you because I don't like that. Because for example, if you say if one person gives out hints, not just throwing it in our face, that's cool. But if you keep saying like, "Ooh, he might be the Joker," "Oh, he might be the Joker," please stop. I don't care because this is a prequel, not a sequel, a prequel. Nothing more, nothing less. All these characters we've seen, nothing bad is going to happen to them because they're going to grow up to who they are going to be in the comic books and shows and whatever. So it doesn't make me feel invested in the show because I know what's going to happen to them in the future. So it's like
so pretty much at this point, the only real speculation that we have is like maybe different twists that might be different from what happened in the comics, and also introductions of characters and villains and possibly heroes that have yet to be introduced, like maybe bringing in Victor Freeze or Dr. Crane.
That's gonna be
Mr. Freeze, he's been confirmed to show up this season.
Yay. So
and Hugo Strange, which I'm so
that's not the thing. Like, why Mr. Freeze again?
I am excited for. I am excited for Hugo Strange to show up.
Why bring Mr. Freeze again? That's kind of a little confusing. Like,
why bitch about it?
Well, it's simple because he has a really interesting backstory, and his wife is sick, and then why we gotta bring in Mr. Freeze?
Well, I just think that.
Why don't you have a backstory?
All right, I'm going into speculation territory here, but
go for it, because that's where we're going. Wild speculation, Charles, go.
Yes, but my speculation is on the subject of Victor Freeze showing up in it. Since, from what I remember of Victor Freeze in the comics, he was actually older than Bruce by a lot. That he was probably, I wouldn't say elderly, but maybe somewhere maybe in his late 40s, early 50s,
We
possibly.
first off, let me actually respond to that. And I see where you're going with that, but he was elderly to Batman, as Lex Luthor in Smallville was elderly to Bruce Wayne.
Right.
He looked older,
But I-
but he was not necessarily that much older.
Yeah, he was like
Okay.
9 years
All
older
right,
than
then
Clark.
all right, then let me say this. I'm thinking that when Victor Freeze is introduced, he's actually going to be older, possibly by at least 10 years older than Bruce Wayne. And I would say that he's going to be with his. Well, I don't know if they would be married yet, but he would
They
be
are.
with the woman that would become his wife. And I think that
10 years
the
older than
accident.
him?
Wow.
I think that the accident that's going to happen to Victor Freeze's wife is going to happen at some point in the lifespan of this show. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen in season 1, but I think it's going to happen somewhere closer towards the end of the show's run.
There's a lot. I think
And
a
that's
lot of
what-
things will happen towards the end of the show, and
Well, I
My-
realize that. It's just I think that that's what's going to happen in this show. Is that something that I don't know.
All right,
That's just my speculation. That's all I got. So whatever.
That's Charles. That's it.
Todd, what? How do you respond to the two haters to your left and right, and what is your wild speculation?
Who did you ask?
What
You,
is
Todd.
what is your response to the two haters on your left and right? The black guy and the very, very white weed smoking guy. What is your response to them? And then what is your wild speculation?
Well, the
See,
crusty stoner has already gotten it, and I think he's completely watching the wrong show. Isaiah over here, he's purposely not said anything horrible just to stay out of my radar, and I've got nothing.
What is new? It's new for him.
And that really is.
Yeah.
Isaiah
Good on
is
you,
like
Isaiah.
fucking Neo. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. Matrix, man. Matrix. I'm the one. I'm the one.
Yeah, you're the one
You're
black
like
guy
the
in this.
You're the one and the other one combined. You're like the 11.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Isaiah, you are the one black guy in this hangout.
And that's why you're racist,
No.
Charles.
That's only because Deano's not.
And that's why
Yeah.
Charles is racist. He out there at the black guy mode. Like, yes, that's why he's black. See? See?
So speculation-wise, to comment on Charles's real quick before I give mine, that would actually what you said about something happening with Freeze's wife getting her disease during the show. Maybe it could have something to do with Poison Ivy's plants. Fuck, everybody froze. Am I still there? Oh, no, Isaiah's
It's
still.
not bad. Go for it.
And my actual speculation is, I think, this is why I wanted to speak on Falcone before, I think Falcone and Harvey are sort of, what they represent is going to be the heart of this show. And this show, meanwhile, we know where everybody's going to go. We know who's going to not die. None of them are going to die.
Right.
What's going to die are their characters. What's going to die are their morals. You know what I'm saying? And Gordon is going to have to work with Falcone. He's going to have to work with the less than clean Harvey to, create this new world. So we're going to have a lot of, which they already touched on in this first episode, a lot of social and moral issues they're going to bring to the table. And I think that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about James Gordon keeping his wholeness in this world and being assisted by less than whole people.
I actually kind of have to agree. In this particular case, I do agree with that necessarily, at least for the most part, it's not going to be the characters who die, but their ideals that do. And I think that's going to be the case with quite a few characters. Basically, all the moral characters are going to end up losing that particular faith, with the exception of James Gordon. I think James Gordon is going to be the one pure white light in this. I think Crispin Allen. I think Renee Montoya. I think
I love her, by the way.
I don't.
that.
I love Renee Montoya.
I love Renee Montoya because of the fact that she is probably the most faulty character in all the DC universe, and she still finds the light. She still finds her goals. She still finds. So I ended up reading a comic, the comic in which she actually ends up being the Question, and it is it's a very deep and very involved storyline. I think that she is one of the very few real characters in DC. I think she's more real than even Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Is because of the fact that Bruce Wayne has a goal, and to achieve his goal, he's Batman, and there is never any question. Renee Montoya, like the rest of us, has questions. She is like, what the fuck? Why am I doing this? And is this going to actually help people?
Right.
So I'm actually a big fan of Montoya, at least as a character, and that's what made the GCPD comics very good, is because all of the characters, all the way down from Gordon down, had those questions. They're like, okay, is what we're doing helping or hurting?
Yeah, it's good. It's good when our characters are asking the questions that we would ask.
Exactly. Is what we're doing helping or hurting? And that's a very important question for anyone. You don't really see that in comics very much. But you do see it with Montoya. You do see it with Crispin. And you do see it with some of the smaller characters in the DC universe, like the Question, like the Spectre, like...
I would not call the Spectre a small character. I think he's pretty... he's a GSA member and so on.
Yeah, he's a GSA member, but he doesn't ever have his own comic. If he does, it's very briefly.
It's briefly, but it's a longer story for him. Because since he's really interesting character, he's like the Watcher, but he's just too complex to put in the story all by himself. You're like, you gotta figure out this story angle, you gotta figure out this story angle. Like, okay, it's gonna be very confusing, very, very confusing. But since I'm talking, let's get to my speculations. And before we go into that, did anyone see Batman Brave and the Bold?
Of course.
No, that show was so annoying to me.
Be quiet, Andy. Anyways, we had a really good episode between the Spectre and the Question. We're talking about Batman's like morale and his life. It was a very cool episode. Everyone should watch that. If you're a Batman fan, watch that. That's one of the awesome episodes in that series. Now, get back to my wild speculations. I hope they do, and I really hope they do bring this story up. Is when they talk about on the Court of Owls, because the Court of Owls in the comic books and so on been trying to kill the Waynes, and they are very good at that too. They do not like the Waynes at all. So if they do go for a more supernatural element, I hope they go for the Court of Owls, because that'd be so badass.
No, I don't want to see that shit. I do not want to see the fucking Masonic shit. I don't want to see the fucking Court of Owls and their like supernatural shit. I want to see the actual on the street.
Oh, come on.
Like, this girl is fucking being raped and she's being paid to be raped type of shit. That is Gotham.
But I'm just saying, like, that's Gotham's underbelly right there. It's the Court of Owls. They always plan devious things like Hydra.
Court of Owls came in New 52, Isaiah, so it hasn't been part of it for very long. It's been part for like 2 years now.
Hey,
so
it was a good series, thank you. Back to what I'm saying. Back to what I'm saying.
I'm gonna have to agree.
We'll let Isaiah finish his very improperly thought out thought.
Hey,
Go on.
at least it's a good thought. Thank you very much. Anyways,
No.
Be quiet. Anyways,
No.
Be quiet. Anyways,
No.
the Court of Owls, again, they have a really unique storyline within the Batman universe. And also, again, I don't want you guys to keep dismissing, like, no, they ain't gonna have it. No. Hey, I'm not gonna say that word, but it's really interesting. It should be part of it because their plots have been killing the Waynes throughout centuries. So why can't we just use them? Why can't we use the Court of Owls? Because that makes perfect sense. The Court of Owls are always paying people, or pretty much playing evil and disguising plots to kill off any of the Wayne bloodline. So I don't know why not adding the Court of Owls will help the show more. It would be really interesting.
Isaiah, can you do me a favor? Can you tell me who Robert Langdon is?
That's a good question.
Who?
Who is Robert Langdon in reference to what you just said?
In all honesty, I don't know.
All right, so
Robert
those
Langdon,
who have read the Da Vinci Code and who have read all of those books, which is what the Court of Owls is based on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, secret society, killing major characters, killing family lines, killing, hiding major secrets from the world. Yeah, that's Robert Langdon. That's Da Vinci Code, etc. That's where that came from. That's where that storyline came from.
Cool.
You should fucking read that shit because it's fucking awesome. You've not read the Da Vinci Code.
No, why would I?
Oh my god!
It's
Oh,
awesome.
good gracious!
Awesome.
I never read the books. I never read the books, but I did see the movies. I saw the Da Vinci Code movie
sorry,
and
Charles. I apologize if you've read the movies were made for the people who read the books. If you watched the movies and did not read the books, you did it in the wrong order.
Ha!
Well, the thing is that I didn't actually like the Da Vinci Code.
Let's go focus
the
back
last
on
one.
Gotham.
I didn't like the Da Vinci Code, but I loved Angels and Demons. I thought that movie was amazing.
That's fair enough. In any case, these are both the Court of the Owls is rip-offs of those movies and those books.
That's fair enough.
Complete and totally.
The reason I don't think.
Andy, go ahead. I think you might actually have something intelligent to add to the conversation.
Here's the thing, Court of Owls. Look, Scott Snyder, he's an amazing writer, but I don't think they're gonna adapt something like that into the show. Okay, you're not gonna see a lot of adaptation. You're gonna see,
But we get
things you.
it's kind of messed up. So we get Harvey Dent, knowing the fact that that's not really weird, accurate situation because he'd be like the same age as Bruce Wayne because they're
Isaiah, you're not. This has nothing to do with Court of Owls. I'm just saying. Look, you're asking for supernatural. You're asking for this. Like that's not gonna happen.
So we can't have. Okay, let me get this straight. If I can have supernatural stuff, then we won't have superpower stuff at all. So.
Not in this Gotham. No.
So
they're
that
gonna.
makes Gotham even boring.
You can see it that way if you want, but honestly, the Court of Owls is like saying that the world as we see it right now is boring without the Masonic lodges. Are you part of a Masonic lodge? Yeah, I didn't think so. Because that's what the Court of Owls is a Masonic lodge.
I think it's safe to
it's
say.
just a high-level Masonic lodge, but it really is.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take off my headphones because I never read Court of Owls.
You suck.
I played it and it bored the fuck out of me.
I think it's safe to say that Isaiah is Owl by himself in this.
But Sean.
Now that was funny.
That was a horrible joke, but still funnier than anything fucking Isaiah said.
Hey now. Hey. Hey, at least I'm putting up some interesting topics. I didn't put up anything crazy like Charles said, or Andy, or Todd, or you. So,
All right, let's wrap it up.
I'm saying it in all of y'all. I'm saying it.
Wild speculation, motherfuckers. Andy.
I did use it.
My speculation is that we're gonna see a very once again, just to point this out, I love Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin. I think he's gonna have I think out of all of them, he's gonna have the darkest upbringing. Up to the point when he comes, who he becomes. I think he's gonna murder a lot of people on the way to that road. I have most speculation about Penguin, but yeah.
All right. So I guess next we got Charles. What do you think is a wild speculation, Charles?
I already gave my wild speculation. The whole thing with Victor Freeze.
Yeah. It was
good enough. That's fair enough. Isaiah, please make it short because you're a crazy person.
What? All right, fine. I'll make it short. I'll make it short. Happy now? Okay. We're gonna have massive war between the gangs, and pretty much James Gordon got to be the one to pretty much set the balance right again, and pretty much give us a building blocks of Batman. There you go. Happy.
Perfect. All right. So next we have Knuckles. What do you got, Knuckles?
I don't really have any wild speculation. I'm not a huge comic book guy, so I just basically have the animated series to go on, and I'm just happy with whatever characters they throw in, really.
And there is my wild speculation, is that I'm going one of two ways. Either they're going to actually follow kind of sort of the comics, in which everybody we have already been introduced to is going to continue to live for a very long time, or they're going to fuck us in the ass, and they're going to go the other way and start killing off fucking major characters.
They won't.
They kill off fucking Ivy, the second they kill off Catwoman, the second they kill off all of these, I'm fucking out. Seriously. But it's possible. It's possible.
They won't. DC will not allow that.
Perfect. Anyone else want to throw something in?
No, I think great pilot. I can't wait to see the next episode.
Yeah, it's much better than I expected. Absolutely. Nothing? All right. My name is Matt Moore. Geeksoftheround.com, youtube.com/geeksoftheround. Check us out there. Like, subscribe, all those other fun things. And thank you for watching. And thank you for watching Geeks of the Round. Peace.
See ya, bitches.